Hello everyone! Hello. I know I haven't done a talking video in a really long time, and that's because I've been traveling so much and yada yada yada. You know, if you've been watching any of my other vlogs, like the amount of places that I've been and the amount of like work that I've had is crazy, so I haven't had time to sit and actually do a talking video. But now I'm home, I'm back in Mississauga in Canada, and I had this idea for a video because I was going through it at the time. As you can tell, I'm still making videos on my laptop because I ain't rich and I don't have money for that canning yet, okay? Sometimes when you're not at the point where you have so much work every day kind of thing, obviously there are points in this career, because it's not a regular 9 to 5 job, where you get stuck in a rut and it just happens. And then all of a sudden you have no work for 2 weeks, or maybe you work once for like the whole month. And you know what? It's a thing, and it happens and it sucks. So I'm kind of at that point right now. For me, my agents know this about me. I'm really, really anxious. So if I don't work for like a week, I start to freak out and I start to really feel like down in the dumps and what am I doing and blah, 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 blah. So since I know that I am that way, I found a way to sort of deal with it. And I found just about like 5 different things that I do to just sort of make sure that I don't freak out or have an anxiety attack or just like, question my whole life. So I just wanted to make a quick video about what I do, not necessarily as advice, because I don't think I'm in any kind of place to give models advice about anything, or even any other sort of freelance career, like a makeup artist, a photographer, a stylist, etc. There are going to be times before we all get to the point where we want to be at. There are going to be times before we're super successful where we're going to have times where there's no work and we're just going to be totally stuck in a rut, feel totally discouraged. And if you're somebody that's anxious like me, it can really bring you down and really make you feel really useless and actually like affect your life in a way that it'll make you just not want to do anything or not hang out with anybody and just lock yourself in your room. And it happens. So I figured out over the last 4 years or so, after I stopped being in school, because then obviously while I was in school, school sort of took up the free time that I had. But now that I'm not in school anymore, sometimes when there's nothing to do, I just kind of sit there and I'm like, this sucks. It's a real thing and it happens to all of us. So I thought, why not make a video about what I do, or the things that I found that help me to get through this time when I feel like I'm stuck in a rut. So first things first, before you even get stuck in a rut, you need to be prepared. I think the very first thing that's important is to just save your money. Girl, you do not need that $1,000 Philip Lim bag. You don't need it. You don't need a $1,000 Chloe bag. I think it's really easy for us because we get paid in lump sums and we get paid, anywhere from 3 to 6 months. It really does take half a year sometimes for us to get our money. But I think because it takes that amount of time, when we do get a lump sum of money, we get really excited. But you need to remember that we have so many things to pay for. You have rent to pay for, you have your credit card bill, your phone bill, your TFSA, OSAP, whatever it is. When you get, say, a $7,000 check for the last 3 months, that's great. But don't get excited, because probably 4 to 5 grand of that is going to go towards something else. Like, we have a lot of things to pay for, just like everybody else does. And unfortunately, because we don't get paid bi-weekly, we don't have the luxury of really planning it out, because we don't really know when we're going to get paid, to be honest. We really need to make sure that we are structured and we have a budget and we follow that budget. So you need to get that done before these rainy days happen. Before you get stuck in a rut, you have to be prepared for a rut. So the number one thing I do is just budget all the time. How much money do you know needs to come out of your account every single month for whatever your costs are? And then number two, just save. You can save and save and save for months and months and months. The bag is still going to be there. It's more important to have that money for a rainy day than it is to spend it on your like $1,200 Chloe bag or whatever, and then get to your rainy day and be like, oh my God, I don't have any money for food. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? It's just logical. It's common sense. We know that there are times that this happens when we just don't have the money. So why are you spending it on shit that you don't need? Budget and save before this rut even happens. Now, when the rut does happen, here are the 5 things that I found that really, really helped me to get through it. Number one, depending on how much time you have off, I would definitely recommend getting a part-time job. When I came back from London, it took me a very long time to get paid. I just got a part-time job. I got a retail job because I wasn't in school anymore. I didn't have anything else taking up my time. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let me just get a damn retail job. It sucks and I hated it and I really, really didn't enjoy where I was working. But you got to do what you got to do. You need to make sure that if you don't have money coming in for a long time, retail job will at least secure that you're getting that money 2 weeks at a time, bi-weekly, and you're at least going to be able to pay things off. It's going to be at a much slower rate, of course, but you got to do what you got to do. My second recommendation is to just have a side project. I noticed that when I started my blog and YouTube, it was something that I automatically thought of when I started to have too much free time. I started to be like, okay, well, I have this day off, let me go do a photo shoot for my blog, or let me film a video, or let me edit a video. Know that at the end of the day, maybe one day it'll be able to become a business venture, and that's going to make you want to work even harder at it during those times when you are just stuck in a rut. So that's my number 2 recommendation, is just get a side project. Find something that you're really, really passionate about, you're really interested in, and whenever you have a free time, and even when you don't have free time, like I blog sometimes even after I've had like a 12-hour shoot, I'll still put up a post because I just love it that much. So if you find something like that, I think it's really going to pick up in all those quiet times and you'll have something to do. And at the end of the day, you know that you're contributing to something that's going to be there after modeling as well. So I think that's also really important. My number 3 thing is probably what my agents will say is the most important thing, and that is to work out. As models, our jobs are to take care of our bodies and to make sure that we're healthy and maintain certain measurements and yada, yada, yada. So I think that working out is always something that you know you're working towards your goal, which is to be a successful model. And also it's just healthy. It's just healthy for everyone in everyday life. And for me, working out really feels like I'm working towards something as well, because I feel like, okay, you know what? Now I'm working so hard on my body. So the next time I actually do start working, I can make sure that I keep working because I'm keeping myself looking fit and toned and healthy, which is what all my clients want to see. My number 4, because I'm somebody that takes like planning pretty severely, number 4 would definitely be just to plan and continue budgeting. Even if you've budgeted before, you can always budget given the money that you have right now as well. Maybe because you want to buy something particular, or something that I always do is I always revise my 5-year plan all the time. If I'm getting really anxious and I'm thinking, oh my God, I haven't worked for 2 weeks, I'm not doing anything, I just did a little shoot for my blog, oh my God, I'm not going to amount to anything in life. Those are literally the thoughts that go through my head. Then I think, you know what, Shivani? No, you will. Just go through your 5-year plan again, see what you can do to change it, get there faster. And I think that that's something that really helps me just calm down and realize, okay, there are going to be times when it's slow. That's okay. You still have a plan. You're still fulfilling your plan. It's okay. Just breathe and relax. So number 4 is really about some practical planning and doing some practical writing of just getting everything out that you need. Let's set some goals and let's make some plans and budgets and whatever you got to do to get where you need to be because you're totally anxious. Well, the 5th thing that I would recommend is to do some creative writing and just get all your thoughts out. One thing I noticed is that instead of calling somebody and talking to them and like crying about your woes and just talking about yourself, just get a journal and freaking write it out. Okay, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling anxious and what can I do to make it better? But write it down, because I'm the kind of person where my thoughts get in my head and I'm a total insomniac. If my thoughts are in my head, there's no way I'm sleeping. So I need to just get those thoughts out. And I find that as soon as I write it down, like straight up, you guys, as soon as I write it down, I automatically start to feel better. I read it over and I think, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just freaking out. This is my anxiety coming out right now. There's no need for me to be like this. And then I just breathe in and out and I do either number 1 to number 4. At the end of the day, when you are a model, you need to realize that we always need to be working on something else because modeling isn't going to last forever. And although we do gain a lot of transferable skills and way more skills now than in the past than we used to being models, you always need to have something going on the side because you need to have something to go back to when modeling's done. So you always need to be working on something. Always in the back of your head need to know, I can't just be dicking around and wasting my time. I have to do something productive because at the end of the day, modeling isn't going to be there. And when I get to the point where modeling is no longer there, I'm going to think, wow, all those times when I was sitting and watching Netflix, I probably could have been working on a blog. I probably could have been getting a part-time job and putting something on my resume. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying don't relax or don't have time with your friends or don't, go to the movies or whatever. You can definitely do those things, but that's also got to go into your plan. That's got to go into your budget. That's basically all this video was about because I realized that I always turn to these 5 things and that's what I always do. And it's really helped me calm down with my anxiety. It's helped me to stop calling my agents and be like, oh my God, I don't know if I have enough money to do this and I'm freaking out and can we try to do this job and blah, blah, blah. And how am I going to budget that? I thought that I would just share that with you guys because I've noticed that me and a lot of my model friends, like whenever we're in model apartments and stuff, we all feel the same when we're stuck in a rut. When it's a rainy day, we all feel the same. We all feel like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Like, we're all just such anxious people. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope that it's something that, even if you're not a model, maybe it's something that can help you out when like work is slow or whatever it is, because these things are really applicable to everything. And these are just things that I've found that have helped me. And if there's anything else that I haven't said that maybe you found that's helped you, and you're going through like a slow time in your life or a slow work time or just a point in your life when you feel like I don't really have anything going on right now and I feel kind of useless. If there's anything that you have found that's helped you guys, I really want to know about it, because I'm always looking to like have a more variety of things to do when I have time off, and when I have time that I feel like I'm just like being a really useless person. So it'd be really, really great if you could give me some suggestions down below as well. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll just see you in the next one. Bye!